Shaking.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hello and welcome back to News Talk, where we talk news.
If this is your first time, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out, and hit the like button as well.
How'd you manage? We rehearsed.
Support the channel. Hit the like button, please.
Okay. Nervous?
That was hard to get out. Okay.
All right.
We also have a Facebook group too for anybody to join to post whatever you guys want to, because we have been getting kicked out of other groups, so that we made it so people can post wherever they want to and have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun on that group, so
You can actually utilize your First Amendment there.
yes, and I left a link to it in the description, so feel free to join anytime you want. But let's go on to Trump.
Trump.
Let's talk about how Trump is doing. You want to start that off?
Okay, well, let's just say that Trump, if he continues to do as well as he is doing in Walter Reed, there's a possible chance of him being discharged Monday.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow, depending on what time you're watching this video.
Right. Also, his health team, that's what they call him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Health team was talking earlier today. I actually shared it on the Facebook group, so that's another reason to join that, so you can see when I share stuff. But anyway, apparently his oxygen dropped below 94% twice. Is actually one of the reasons they admitted him to that hospital.
Walter Reed,
Yes.
On Friday evening. Well, there's a lot of Nancy Pelosi. She actually went on and said how she briefed how she hasn't been kept informed of Donald Trump's progression.
Do you actually think she cares?
No,
I mean, it's Nancy Pelosi.
She told the media that she hasn't been briefed. She finds out the way the rest of us find out, through the media.
Well, boo-hoo. I mean, is she really going to cry about that right now?
Does
she actually even care? It's Nancy Pelosi we're talking about.
Well, she says that she sends prayers and sends for speedy recovery.
Does she even pray? I mean,
That's debatable.
Anyway, hopefully Trump will be completely healed to be in the next debate. And actually, hopefully nobody actually gets COVID-19. And speaking about debate, this Wednesday, right?
Yes, this Wednesday.
Wednesday, Pence and...
October 7th.
Pence and Harris is going to be debating.
You almost said Hillary.
Well, sometimes they act like her. Especially Biden during the first debate.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way he smirked and crap.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what is that? There's been some gatherings that Trump has attended prior to getting COVID. And the media has exclaimed that Trump is failing to inform the people who has also went to the gatherings that they need to be tested for COVID, like it's Trump's personal responsibility to send out little notes saying, hey, you were at the same gathering I have, now looky, I've got COVID, maybe you should get tested too.
You would think the people that showed up, I mean, I'm sure
Like, if he has COVID
world,
and if I was by him, I should probably get myself tested.
That's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure the entire world now knows he has got COVID now because he is the president of the United States.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've been around, you should probably get tested.
Yeah, but they're making a big deal because he's not informing people.
Well, I mean, the whole world's been informed. He's the president.
Yeah.
All right, back to the debate I was talking about, October
7th.
7th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one's the other one. Mm-hmm. Yes, the 7th, it will be Wednesday, and that is Pence and Harris debating, and we will be streaming that live here, so if you do not know where to go to watch it, which I mean, it's easy to find.
Join us here.
Or just join here to help us out anyway, but that would be much appreciated. And October 15th is when Joe Biden and Trump.
In Miami, yes. They're up for their second presidential debate, and that would be, 8 o'clock Central Time?
Yeah, 8 o'clock Central Time, and that will be in Miami, Florida.
How do you know it's... Never mind.
No, go ahead and say it.
Nothing.
Let's hear what you got to say.
Nothing.
Come on, baby.
Nope, let's go.
We actually talk about the drive-by.
Okay, when he says drive-by, he's meaning a photo op that Trump did because he's got... I don't know how big this crowd is.
If it's Trump, it's probably thousands because people actually like him. Well,
I mean, if Canada could come over, they'd probably be out there too.
We'll get to that in a second.
We'll get to that though.
Actually, I think the last thing I got. Yes. But anyway.
CNN, they posted, they said how Trump, his photo op raises questions on how seriously he has taken this virus.
Which, okay, this is, I believe, CNN. Well, actually, this is a tweet by Dr. James Phillip, which I think is one of the higher up people at that hospital that he's at right now. He tweeted, every single person in the vehicle during that completely unnecessary presidential drive-by just now what has to be quarantined for 14 days. They might get sick. They may die for political theater, commanded by Trump to put their lives at risk for theater. This is insanity. That is what he said. That's what I think he's like one of the, I don't know exactly what his position was, but he's like a higher up person in that. But the White House claims they took appropriate precautions.
I mean, he had the window up. He was waving through the window. He had a mask on, even though
I think his whole thing was the people that like drove him and stuff. The people that was actually in the car is what they're like worried about, putting their lives at risk. And then that's what I'm saying. The White House said they took appropriate precautions for all the people inside the vehicle.
Well, so think about that. If that's what they're worried about, Trump, he's got the mask on. He's inside the vehicle with them. And if they're saying that's still not a sanitary or whatever issue that rises, what about being out in public still having masks? And if you've got COVID?
Well, I think the whole reason is because I think the presidential vehicle is made to even like withstand like a gas attack on them. So it's like completely everything inside the vehicle can be inside the vehicle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think they're just worried about the people inside. But like I said, the White House claims appropriate precautions were made, and actually I'm gonna give you a quote that I thought I wrote down. Anyway, somebody from the White House, I believe, said this. Appropriate precautions were taken in the execution of this movement to protect the president and all those supporting it, including PPE. The movement was cleared by the medical team as safe to do. Judd Deere, I think. Judd Deere, yes. That's what she or he
told the reporters?
Yeah, told reporters. So, I mean, if his own team said it's okay, I would think it's okay.
I mean, they do have a...
And if masks work so well like they think, or say,
that's
I mean, it should be okay anyway, right? I'm pretty sure every one of them was wearing masks.
Yeah.
I think more importantly than wearing masks is cleaning your hands too.
Didn't you? Okay, so whenever we went through the grocery mart, I think even Walmart said
Today?
that. Well, didn't you read how on the mask, the package that the masks came in?
Well, yeah.
Said it didn't protect against COVID?
Yeah, there's one that said it didn't protect it. They all say almost the same thing. They all say that it's not. If masks work, then why are they so worried? Exactly. I don't know if masks. That's what I was making the point of. If masks do work, why are they so worried?
Yeah.
But I think more importantly, the mask is to clean your hands and watch what you touch. Everything you touch, you gotta clean down. But going back to what you were saying, I think all the masks, if you actually read on the back of the thing, because they always try to bring up, well, doctors use them, so they should obviously work. Well, doctors don't use them to like protect yourself from viruses. They use them to protect themselves from like splatter from blood and
from entering their nose or.
So even all these masks on the back of them said they are not used for medical purposes. So that argument is kind of
invalid.
Null. You got anything else
okay.
on the whole?
Speaking of COVID, the mayor of New York City, Bill de Blasio, he's wanting to shut down schools and small businesses down in 9 areas who has seen an increase of COVID by 3% for at least 7 consecutive days. The plan that he is wanting to pursue includes the closures of all non-essential businesses, which that's funny.
And they decide that.
That's funny. It's I'll say that in a second. Private and public schools and daycares. Restaurants will have to stop indoor and outdoor dining, but allow to-go orders. Wouldn't restaurants be considered what they consider non-essential?
I think so.
Well, then shouldn't they be closed down too if he's closing down everything?
Well,
I mean, that's one of the many things that don't make sense. But they're allowing to-go orders. Doesn't make sense to me.
No, well, a lot of rules they make up about this COVID thing doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, we were actually talking about it earlier before we started recording, but this Dollar General that I live by, when this first started happening, you come up, put your stuff on the counter, then you got to step back. Then they step up and grab literally everything you just grabbed, scan it, put it in bags, then they step back, you come up, give them the money, then you step back, then they come up and grab the same money you just touched, and then they step back, and you come up and grab everything.
Like, who thinks of these? And when they're at the conference discussing what to do, doesn't someone in the crowd say, well, that doesn't quite make sense to me?
Well, what aggravates me about this whole thing is why are they getting to tell businesses when they can and cannot close?
Well, because they...
I mean, it's not their... I mean, it's their business that they got to have to survive or whatever.
Yeah. Like,
So how would the government or anybody be allowed to tell them whether or not they can stay open or not? Shouldn't they be able to decide since it's their own business? I personally think that because, I mean, it's the people's responsibility if they want to not get sick or not to go out or not go out.
Like, it's your own
It's not the government's job
personal...
to tell us whether or not to do something.
Like, wear masks?
Yeah, or any of that.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, if it's a business saying, you need to wear a mask if you're coming in or not, that's totally different. But for the government to come in and say you cannot be open because you're not essential, but it's your own business, they can't. I don't see how that's legal, really.
Well, a lot of the stuff that they're trying to pull over on our heads are not legal, but they're still getting it done.
Well,
anyway.
I wish I had it. I think it's on my other. Well, actually, no. I think it's on the Walmart one.
Oh.
But well, actually, I think I texted it to you, but it's been a while. All right.
That's why some governors are being sued.
Well, I hope they do get sued. I really do.
Yeah.
Because I do not think that's right. I just don't see how that is legal. I really don't.
And then what boggles my mind is you have some people that actually go with it and support or defend them if you got someone saying, look, that's not right, you can't take my rights away.
And a lot of people like their argument about wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. If you don't like wearing a mask, they'll have to be like, well, it's their business. They can do what they want. Well, if it's their business, they can do what they want. Then why are they getting forced to shut down?
Yeah.
Well, that's what destroyed the economy. I mean, it's coming back up because Trump's awesome, but
yeah. But if Biden,
I mean, they should have definitely left that up to the business owner. I mean, it's their business. You would think, right?
Well, I mean,
I gotta look into that, see what the rules and stuff are of that, but.
Well,
I just personally do not think it's
before the mayor can go through with this. The state has to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just personally think it's wrong to force somebody to shut down if they don't want to. I think they should advise people or whatnot. 2 governors were sued because what they've done is unconstitutional. I'm so glad they did, and I hope more people do that. I really do, because I personally don't think it's right.
What's if you can tell us what state's that in?
I think there's a couple. She said 2 governors. Yeah, if he calls it state.
Yeah. So that way we can do some more research on that.
Yeah, I want to do more research about it anyway. But I just personally think that it's not the government's job to tell us what we can and cannot do. I think it's their job to inform us of what's going on and like maybe what's the word I'm looking for? Not enforce it or not force you to do something, but.
Oh, I know the word you're looking for. Like to advise.
Yeah, they can give you advising and stuff or whatever, but. That's how I see it.
Recommend?
Recommend, there we go.
There we go, that's the word.
They can recommend.
Michigan
wasn't one of them.
She said
Michigan.
Michigan.
Let me try to say that.
Michigan.
That's what me trying to say
Remdesivir.
That's another.
Remdesivir.
Why? Okay, if anybody knows the answer to this, why is it that they would try an experimental drug on the president?
The president. The one who is running
totally
this country.
Misses something about that.
Like, has it been tried on anyone prior to Trump using this?
I wonder how much. Do you know how much they got from that? From suing, like
the governors lost.
Yeah, governors lost. I mean, shoot, if that's like a thing.
As well as they should have.
Hopefully our governor doesn't, so we can sue.
No.
I'm kidding. I don't want that. But I mean.
Never mind.
Money. What?
Nothing.
Go ahead and say it.
Well, going back to Bill de Blasio, he's wanting the shutdown to last 2 to 4 weeks, depending if he sees an increase or decrease in COVID cases.
That's what I'm saying. Is it? If the people okay. It aggravates the crap out of me because just like when they changed the cigarette, you can't buy cigarettes now until you're 21.
Okay.
But you're legally an adult at 18. Like they need to stop doing this crap. If you're legally an adult at 18, you should be able to drink at 18. You should be able to smoke at 18. You should be able to do everything legal you're allowed to do.
Make your own decisions.
If you are legally an adult, you should be legally an adult, not still have precautions and crap or laws against that.
Well, I mean,
Or if they want, your drinking age and all that crap to be 21, then make the legal adult age 21. But to tell people they're legally an adult at 18,
that
you just
just
can't.
confuses people.
You just don't have.
That's just like going into the army. You can go into the army when you're 18.
Right.
If you're old enough to go into the army and fight for your country, you're old enough to smoke, to drink, to.
Well, that's like a lot of people's argument about that. But I'm just saying, like, I just don't think. If I'm going to tell you.
Well, I mean, it's a valid argument.
If I'm going to tell you you're an adult, you just can't do this, that until you're a little bit older, then I don't think that would mean you are an adult.
Carolyn says, I think it should be your choice if you want to wear the masks or if you don't want to. They shouldn't make you wear one if you don't want to, and that's your right.
Well,
and
as of right now, I mean, that is how it is.
Well,
It's
they have, in some states, I know in Kentucky, they have a mandatory, the governor is mandating mask wearing, and if you don't, I mean, you can choose to go into, like, the store you're going to. If it's issuing a mandated mask, you can choose to go in or not to go in. But me personally, whenever we go out and he's like, hey, look, I think this store is going to make us wear masks,
I'll walk away.
we're not going in. I tell him no. I'm not going to support a business who is going to take away our rights. That's me.
I mean, a lot of people are like, it's just a right. Well,
Yeah, that's just one right, they say.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. Is
they're trying to take rights away from you little by little, so you look away and not even realize what's happening before it's all unfolded out in front of you and all your rights are gone.
They make it sound like it's just a small right. It doesn't matter if it's a small right or a big right.
Yeah.
It's still a right you have. You don't just let the government have that or take that away from you just because to you it's a small right. It's a right. You should
that's just
right.
that's just like the government, for example, saying, okay, this $1's yours, but I'm gonna take this quarter. The whole dollar is yours.
My mom said the experimental drug President Trump is on has been being used for a few months. I still think that's a little weird though. Like, why are they using experimental? Yeah. But going back to the mask thing, I mean, if it's the business's right to make you wear a mask or not in there, but it's also the business's right to not shut down.
Yeah, it's the owner of the business. It just, like, whenever businesses have to shut down and they buy all the stuff that goes into their business, just think of the amount of the headache that they go through of having to essentially lose what they just got. You know what I mean? It should be up to the business owners.
I personally don't think it should be the government. I mean, the government shouldn't have control. We're supposed to be in control of the government in the first place.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be, but you know how that's been going. So.
This one that I wrote. Should we do a different segment?
I'll do that. I'll just.
I mean, not like tonight though. Like a different night, whenever.
Yeah, we can do that a different night if you want.
Okay.
But let's go to that one.
I'm gonna.
Justin. Okay, Justin said there's a drug being tested called Moderna, which is showing promise. I hope it does. I mean, I hope they come up with some stuff that really, really works.
Let me get on here. I took a screenshot of
and my mom says it's mostly Democratic states. It really is, but either way, any kind of enforcement they put on stuff like that.
These are all the the medicines. Yeah, this is Regeneron. Okay, so that was one of them. I said that yesterday, and yesterday.
Regeneron, I think is how you say it.
Regeneron.
Remdesivir.
Zinc, vitamin D, famotidine, melatonin, aspirin, and then the dexamethasone.
You know how medicines are.
That's all the.
You know the thing. That's all the medicine.
The medication that he's on.
Trump. They put Trump on for all that.
Yeah.
And she said it's mostly Democratic states, talking about like all the laws and stuff.
You already read that.
Oh,
okay.
Right,
so we're gonna move on to the next topic. There was a drive-by in Sacramento Park Saturday evening. There was a 9-year-old girl who was shot and killed at the scene. 3 other victims were hospitalized. 2 of those victims are in stable condition, and one is critically. He's in critical condition. The guy, there was the 3 victims. One was a 6-year-old girl. The other one was a woman, didn't say her age. And then the third one was a man. The man had to drive himself to the hospital.
That's kind of hardcore.
Get shot at a
But you
park
see-
for no apparent reason.
You said 6-year-old died or 9-year-old?
A 9-year-old died. There was also another child, 6-year-old. She was in critical. No, she was unstable. Her condition was stable. They got her stable when she got to the hospital. But the woman, she's in critical condition.
Well, I mean, you see these Black Lives Matter and crap protesting about police shooting them, doing illegal stuff, but you don't see them protesting about people coming up and just shooting, doing drive-bys or whatnot. I mean, that's what they should be protesting for, is people like that, people that's getting shot.
The evil in the world, not
Yeah, they should stop the violence that they are doing themselves to people.
like they haven't released the full story because it is Carolyn says
They're definitely trying to take little by little from us, talking about the riots we're talking about.
yes, they definitely are, and it's
By the time you guys comment, like the video, we're like probably like 15 or 30 seconds ahead of what you guys say or hear, because it's like the comments versus what we're saying is like a lag there.
but
so.
we'll get to your comments.
Yeah, so
Going back to what I was saying, they have a $1,000 reward out for anyone who has any information.
yeah, I really hope they get.
But I hope they get a lot of information about what happened. I mean, if it's a park, especially like if it's a
You think it'd be
public
cameras?
park, yeah, there'd be cameras.
Cameras are definitely witnesses.
Yeah.
Unless people are just scared
Somebody
to talk.
pay that camera.
Unless people are just scared to talk. I mean, that happens too. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, there's so much. You would think we're in 2020, and we are supposed to be the smartest creatures in the world, and we're doing stuff like we're killing 9-year-old people, 9-year-old girls, and just doing drive-by shootings, and then turning your head to that, but then you want to protest and what's the word? Raise up.
Awareness.
No, you want to like.
Well, that's what they say they are. They're bringing awareness.
Well, they'll turn their head to stuff like that, but they won't. They'll protest and stuff for
they'll advocate
murderers.
for
They'll like lift them up and praise them.
put them on a pedestal.
Yes.
Whenever this is the real stuff, if anything's going to be protested
you
about,
don't
and
even-
I'm not talking riots, I'm talking actual protests that will actually do some good, instead of cause more harm.
And what's even more sad is you don't see that stuff on the news.
No.
You have to see somebody share it on Facebook or something to even see something like that. You don't actually see it on TV. And if you do, it's for like 10 seconds. And they'll go right to like racism now.
That's the main topic the media wants to talk about is racism. That's how they get you.
Well, I mean, I'm sick of people.
I'm sick of them.
I'm not racist. I just don't like people.
Well, you can't tell that to anyone because if you say anything,
Oh, I've already been
then
called-
you're part of the problem.
I'm
is what
surprised
they
they didn't get
say.
called racist today. Well, that's because I haven't said anything on Facebook yet. But if I did, that's probably the first thing that comes out of my mind.
Yeah.
Or mouth. All right, we'll go to this poll that. All right, I was actually talking about yesterday on a video how I don't believe in polls or whatnot. And this actually will show you why. But new polls show Joe Biden with a 14-point lead nationally over our president following the first debate last week. That's what they're claiming. Okay.
Donna Cunningham says they are being paid to go out and do all of this writing. Look at the mugshots of some of those people.
Yeah, that's true. They are getting paid for that. And not only are they getting paid for it, they will go to jail one night and get released the next day to go back out and do it. There are articles of this happening. I forget this specific guy too, the trumpet man or whatever. He was arrested like 5 times in a week and like kept getting released just to go back to do it.
Okay,
so
well,
obviously there's somebody behind this doing this.
Well, so whoever bails them out, that should be on record, right?
I don't know.
I mean, if you get bailed out, it's gotta say paid by who, right? Well, I don't know. I've never been a.
I've never bailed anybody out before.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. So. But I mean, that's what they're doing.
I would like to know who they're getting paid by.
Well, a lot of people say George Soros.
I've heard George Soros.
I haven't looked too far into that, but I definitely believe it. Just because of the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like one of the richest people in the world, if not the richest.
Okay.
He's constantly wanting to like expose or what am I talking about? Put Marxism into the world or whatever. I don't know what I'm looking for. But going back to that poll I was talking about, I'll reread it. New polls show Joe Biden with a 14-point lead nationally over President Trump following the first debate last week. And this is why polls aren't necessarily true. Kamala Harris donated to the funds to help get them out. That does not surprise me.
Yeah, no. Some of the crooked crap that she's pulled.
Kamala Harris is evil. Joe Biden's evil. Nancy Pelosi.
And then what
Just look at her face, she's
surprises
evil.
me, people are actually going to vote for them.
Yeah, there's a sign right down the road. 2 signs, Biden and Harris.
Yeah. Like, we want to not do anything to disrupt their sign, but we want to make our own sign and ask why with a question mark and point it at their sign.
I mean, it's ridiculous where the country will go if Joe Biden gets in office.
It's going to go to
And by the
crap in
time
a handbasket. That's where it's going to
they
go.
realize that it's bad, it's going to be way too late. He's already going to be president.
Exactly. That's the same thing what I was talking about with taking your rights away from you. By the time they realize, hey, they're actually doing this, it's too late. She said something else?
Yeah, that's laughable. There's no way. Well, that's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
The polls show that Joe Biden is ahead 14 points, but this is why I don't believe in polls and why they are definitely misleading. The survey was conducted by NBC News and the Wall Street Journal, which is like 2 of the biased people toward Trump. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. 2 biased people toward Trump. The survey was taken between September 30th and October 1st and covered only 800 registered voters. So this is between
That's it?
800 people. And out of those 800 people, I wonder how many of those were
From the Democrat Party.
registered Democrats.
Yeah.
So that's why polls are not good, because they take a very small percentage of people and then try to say it's nationally like this. That there's no way. And it said it had a margin of error of around 3.5%, which is like 27 people.
Justin says, I've seen video footage of the same people in different locations at different times in rioting cities.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see like one person here destroying something. It's like they pose for pictures too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they pose for the camera. It's like show, I'm here too and over here too. Yeah, it's just like the guy I was talking about. I think they called him the Trumpet Man or something, because he was intimidating police, like playing the trumpet in front of them and doing all kinds of crap. He was arrested like 5 times that week. And then released the very next day, every time. I think they are just now starting to get where they actually are.
Wasn't there something about some van was who like came up to one of these protests and people were getting stuff out of the back of the van to use in the riots?
Well, I didn't read too much about that, but I did see like a headline of that. So I don't know how true that is or what. But I know that they would purposely come in and put bricks down, like a bunch of bricks for people to use to
throw?
Yeah, to throw at windows and probably people too.
Probably.
So.
Well, what was I about to say? There was a topic on this matter that I was going to.
I mean, all these people are freaking Marxists. And they're not against fascists, but they are fascists, but they claim to be
against what they say.
anti. And Donna says, that's weird saying Donna. It was a moving van.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I remember that, like a U-Haul or something like that.
Yeah, I kept wanting to say FedEx, and I'm like, say FedEx, I'm gonna sound real stupid.
It's the same thing. It's pretty much the same van.
So I said like a big van, whatever.
But yeah, they're getting paid. They're getting supplies. They're getting all kinds of crap to do this stuff. I mean, from what I've seen, they get paid pretty good money.
You know, I'm gonna make a note of that.
What?
I want to look into that.
Do like a story on it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some digging.
Well, I hope so. I hope you find a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You got anything else after this, or you want me to just go on?
No, continue. Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go to the next one?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish making my
Okay, so back in September, I just found this today, but an estimated 100,000 people rallied in Montreal, Canada, back in September to fight for freedom. Okay, this was in Canada, not even this country. The governor there allegedly killed thousands of people by sending COVID-19 patients to senior residences, which sounds familiar.
Yeah, because that's what New York City did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the governor of New York did.
Bill de Blasio.
They did the same thing, and that's what started like.
That's what they see their increase. That's that 3% he's talking about, the increase.
Yes, and those 100,000 people that were rallying, there were scores of Trump 2020 flags with the slogan "No more bullshit," and also flags that read, "Better to die free than to live without freedom." Many of these Canadians, as they were carrying Trump signs, were chanting "USA, USA." Now, if that don't get your blood boiling,
Yee yee.
I mean, it made me proud. Like, heck yeah. Other countries are like,
I mean, for all the people out there who's considering Biden and Kamala, what's it tell you if another country is saying
that's what I was about to say. Like,
Trump?
it says a lot if you got another country wanting to, like...
Because they see right through Biden's bull crap he tries to pull over our heads.
Their president's, dang, I forget his name. He's kind of a joke too, though. I forget. I can see his face. But.
You know, I was telling him earlier that some of the people in different countries, like Canada, who is for Trump, I was telling him how they probably wish that he was running for presidency in their country.
Which one? Oh, sorry, I was reading.
No, Trump running for president in their
that's what
country.
Canada said too. I think it actually can't. Well, no, actually, that's what I think you were just talking about was Canada.
No, that's what I was talking about whenever you were briefing us.
But yeah, it says something if you got a different country like telling us this, and mom says she saw that, but I just seen it today, so I just found it today.
Are we skipping again?
We could be. I don't think so. No. Don't look like it. No, we actually did pretty good that time.
Okay.
We're at 30 minutes.
Well, I thought that we were skipping.
All right, you got anything else?
No, I think that
That last one, you're gonna do something.
Yeah. Let me
mark it. Dig more. Okay, I got you.
I'm gonna do some more digging on that one, and I'll be mentioning that one.
All right, but before we go, if you guys have a comment right now, so I can read it out, and then any kind of discussion right now, just type it, and me and her will kind of go over it. And we can interact right now. While you're thinking of something that you want us to interact
if you
with,
have any questions, we'll go through those questions now.
Right now about anything. If you want our opinion on something or whatever, if you just want to hear us talk about it, just engage with us right now. And while you're coming up with that, I do want to talk about, the upcoming events that's coming up at
like the next
Harris
VP debate, which is going to be October 7th.
This Wednesday.
What time? Do you know what time? I'll look that up for you right now.
I don't know the exact time, but we will be streaming it live on this channel.
Yes.
And if you guys look back at like older debates between presidents and stuff, it's done totally different than what it is now. You'll see one person talk, even if everything that's coming out of their mouth is just total bullcrap. The other one running for president will let them talk, and then they finally get done, and then the other person will talk. I hope that's how these debates go from now on. And I actually read somewhere where they might be trying to make it to where you can mute the other person's mic if they're not talking, but we'll see how that goes. You see what time it is?
I've heard.
It'd probably be around the same time as the actual president's debate.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess 9 p.m. 8 Central. I would guess. And that's this Wednesday. That would be Harris and Pence going at it, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it'll go a lot better.
How do you think, before the debate gets here, how do you think that debate's going to go? Actually, tomorrow. It's going to start 9 p.m. You were right.
9 p.m. Okay.
Yeah.
9 p.m. 8 p.m. Central. Oh, my mother said something. I can't read that.
Okay. Just one.
Give 1 second. But
She says, "What do you guys think about so many Republicans have gotten COVID with the president? I've seen some say it seems fishy."
I think it's a little weird that you don't see a lot of Democrats getting it.
Well,
I personally haven't seen Democrats getting it.
The Amy Coney Barrett, it was at her, where they announced, what is it,
Her death?
No, she's not dead.
Who's that, justice person that died?
Justice?
Yeah.
That is Newt.
But I'm thinking of a totally different person. Okay, let me read that again. Some say it was set up. I can see that. I actually was watching a video earlier about that could be possibly a setup from the left, so Biden doesn't have to debate Trump.
Yeah, I can see that.
I've seen that, but that's all I've really seen about it. I do think it's a little weird that Well, they say that it's pretty easy to infect a lot of people once one person is infected anyway. So if Trump does obviously have it, and the people that's around him, I mean, it's probably easier for him to get it anyway. But I think it's just a little weird that Republicans are getting it.
Okay, so I made a list.
Okay.
All of the people who have, they had a list. I didn't take a look at in depth of. They had a list of who had it versus who didn't, and I know there was a lot of Democrats on there
Who didn't or did have
who
it.
didn't have it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's weird that the Republicans are getting it and the Democrats aren't, unless they're just not coming out and saying they got it, like lying about it. You know?
I don't know, because if you the debate whenever Trump and Biden did their first debate, Biden, he didn't sound all that well to me. Trump, he actually didn't sound bad. Like, I really didn't know he wasn't feeling well if he wasn't.
During the debate?
Yeah. Biden didn't
just
sound
seemed
like he...
irritated.
But, I mean, there's been videos prior to this debate how Biden, he'd walk on stage and he was, like, immensely out of breath.
Yeah, I actually seen that video. He like took a few steps and like was like way out of breath. I wonder if they did have it, they just never announced it.
That's what I was thinking.
What if they actually like spread it like by doing that?
I don't know.
But Pence don't have it yet, so.
Yeah, but I don't know, because they said that they test Biden and he came back negative. They're supposed to be doing it again today to see. Justin said Trump has sent a message to Congress wanting to get a deal done for another stimulus package.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I've read that.
And
Go ahead.
What? Well, I'm gonna ask what do you guys think about getting a stimulus check or a package or a check
If you
like the last one?
Well, I know there's some people who probably still haven't gotten the first one.
Well, okay, if you
'Cause
haven't
it took
gotten
a really
even if
long-
you haven't gotten, what do you think about that? What do you think it was right for them to like send everybody checks?
Well, I mean,
Because some
like-
people argue that it's not right.
like from us. Okay, so my question is, what do we have to pay for the money that's being sent to us? Because I feel like it's not just something that they're just gonna freely hand you.
I think it was our money to begin with anyway, and they just give it back for one. But I agree with you. I think we're gonna have to end up paying for it somehow.
Oh yeah. I think there's gonna be like an increase in the taxes that come to us like the end of or the beginning of next year.
Oh, I could see that happen for real. But yeah, I hope they get something figured out.
Are we skipping? It freaks
No.
me out. Like that's a
I
worry.
don't think we're skipping that yet. I think it works to not
That's
have
an
it
actual
charged.
fear.
You're scared.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else I was going to talk about and I didn't write it down. I think it was about the debate.
Which
Okay.
one?
I want to ask people. I actually want to ask people because there's like so many mixed feelings about the first debate. For Trump supporters, I think everybody watching right now is a Trump supporter. How do you feel about how Trump handled it? I mean, try not to be biased about anything. Just what do you think about that?
I read a thing that CNN did. Donna says they've been working on that second stimulus for a few months now.
You know, I didn't hear it getting done.
I was go back to that debate thing. I was reading how CNN had said that Trump didn't gain very many women supporters from everything that he was saying.
Well, okay.
Do you see where they're coming from?
I mean,
They want to make things about race. They want it to be about sex. They just want to put a wedge in between everything that
Well, if you
people
go on-
get so offended by and divide us. I don't.
They do this crap on purpose, okay? If you go,
Especially coming so close up to presidency.
if you
and
go
voting.
on Google and look up, I forget what they call it. You look up certain words and it tells you how popular it was for each year. Well, if you look
Like
up,
a trend?
yeah, trend. Google Trends is what they call it. But you
Okay.
type in racism or systemic racism or white privilege, all that stuff that they try to push on people. Every president's year that the presidency was running, they spiked up. So you could see where they every time the election comes up,
Mm-hmm.
they push it more and more, and you could obviously tell. I mean, it's like one thing that they try to push on people because it helps the left politically.
Yeah, I think it's all just a political move.
Well, a lot of stuff is political. That's what's more annoying than anything.
I think we'll be hearing less and less about COVID cases once the
election's over.
The election. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Once the election's over, I think we're gonna hear less about COVID cases and more about rioting and people throwing tantrums essentially over not getting what they wanted.
Okay, my mom said, I think the president felt like he had to defend himself. They brought up things that were lies and had already been talked about and proven it was lies.
Yeah, they brought up he asked questions like they were factual statements.
Biden never really answered anything. That's true. I mean, I could see, even if, I don't know how to say this. Yes, he had to defend himself. He's been having to defend himself ever since he was president, or even before.
Definitely.
But I still think he should have held his tongue.
There's a time and place for everything. I agree on that. He's been holding so many things back that he's been wanting to say to the media and to people who is trying to push this wrong agenda that Trump is trying to pursue, and he's obviously going to defend himself. And I just think that he should have stuck more with answering the questions and coming back at Biden with some.
Truth.
Yeah.
I think his best bet was just to let Biden talk.
All right, thanks, Carolyn.
And this came with truth.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really don't think he should have interrupted as much as he did.
I think it should have been done more on a professional level.
I understand why he, was defensive and stuff. He's got to be.
Yeah.
I
mean everyone's attacking him from every angle. Of course he's going to be defensive.
But I think he should have just answered the questions and just relaxed. I know it's easier said than done, but
I mean, if you let Biden do his own talking, if so, he wasn't bugged or anything, didn't have any help of any sort. If Trump just would have let him talk, he would have unfolded everything that everyone already thinks.
But it's not only their two problems either. It was the moderator. The
yeah.
The way he handled a lot of things. So I'm really, really hoping these next moderators coming up do a better job. Even if obviously people are going to be biased. If you have one feeling over the other, he's obviously going to be biased.
Yes.
So, yes, and he also wasn't given time. Yeah, I agree with that.
What?
My mom said he wasn't given the time.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. There was.
But even with stuff like that, that's what I'm saying. He should still just let it happen the way it was going to happen, whatever. Just don't lose your cool. Because I really think that's what they try to make him do is lose his cool.
Well, I mean, if you listen to Biden talk, he will go back and he will contradict himself quite often. He even did that in the debate. Trump should have just kept his cool and listened for those small contradictions. And not only that, but ask him questions like his plan. He should have that time frame where they were going about themselves in a debate, which they couldn't do because the moderator wouldn't allow that to happen. But Trump should have been like, okay, go into further detail about your plan. You say that you didn't enforce the 47 years you were in office. Like, tell the American people that. I think there would have been a lot less Biden had to say. And, well, I mean, he was looking for a lifeline from Chris Wallace anyway. I mean, he was using the moderator as a crutch.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think Trump should just play their game, just let them do what they're going to do. And
so he did.
And then
Justin says, I believe the debate was more for voters to root for their favorite. There will be very few who haven't already decided whether to vote Democratic or Republican.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, Trump supporters ain't going to all of a sudden start voting for Biden because of this debate and vice versa.
I mean, but the people that are on the fence, not knowing who, or even people who are voting Republican or voting Democrat, the first debate between the two isn't going to swing anyone. It's not going to sway anyone's opinion, especially the people who doesn't know who to vote for. If anything, that makes them want to go to Joe Jorgensen. Or like they say, if Trump becomes president, I'm moving out of this country, like Whoopi has done on The View, and so many other people who have said if Trump becomes president, I'm moving. I think they're still here.
Yeah, I could totally see what you said, Justin. I definitely see that. They just got out there to argue back and forth, but that's not what the American people want to see. I mean, we got problems here in America, and we want to
know
who's going to fix them and how they're going to fix them, and nobody's seen that. It was just you could see the hate.
Yeah,
both sides.
I mean, Trump came out with his dukes up anyhow. He was prepared for that.
Well,
because
I mean, that's a lot how he does.
He's getting a lot of backlash from.
If you go back to like him and Hillary debating, he was a lot more calm, but he did those little jokes.
Yeah, I mean, but essentially they were.
It was a lot better. No, that's more debatable. Like he was actually debating them, but I think he just lost his cool a little too much on this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, he came up with his dukes up. He was ready for Biden to pop off and say something like that, or even the moderator.
Yeah.
So he was ready.
I mean, a lot of that was the moderator's fault, though. A lot of it was.
Well, I think the moderator should have talked less.
Been fired.
And shown the amount of disrespect.
That is another thing. The way they disrespect
the guy
who was president of the United States. They disrespect him so
Donna
much.
says Biden just says the things that Trump has already done or is doing.
Yeah, and that's another thing that Biden says he's going to do is take away all the tax cuts Trump has put into place that made the economy boom. And Biden also says he wants to shut down the economy because of COVID.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the last video.
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, I'm going to bring it up every time. So
there's a question you asked in the video. There's a question you asked in the end of the video yesterday whenever it started skipping and everything.
What?
Well, I can't remember.
Well, look it up real quick.
Well, no, because then I have to turn up the sound and everything.
Okay.
You asked inside the video.
At the very end.
Yeah, you were saying you have a question for...
Oh, for the people.
Yeah.
What is Biden going to do?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Like, that's a question needs to be answered.
The main question I want answered is what policy has Trump done that has destroyed America? Because they think Trump's destroyed America. I thought you seen that stink.
No, well, maybe there's a fly here.
No, but everybody that hates Trump says he's destroyed America or, made it more. They just, I don't know. The people that hate Trump, I just want to know what he has done to destroy America like you guys say he has. That's all I want to know. The policies he's put in place. Mm-hmm. The only thing I come up with, he said, to grab women by the P word. I'm like...
that was mentioned again by CNN. They were bringing up, what was it, October surprise is what they had called it on CNN.
Is it something the president should say? No, but it's also something that should be on music that everybody can hear either. I mean, if you're going to have standards like that, you should have standards for everybody, not just the president. And for one, the president obviously didn't know everybody was listening.
He wouldn't have said that
out
loud.
The songs you hear
say way worse.
It's clearly
more provocative
what people are going to hear. So
yeah, there's songs Nicki Minaj that kids are even allowed to listen to, and they're worried about what locker room talk Trump says.
To me, it just makes it seem like he's more like an actual human being than the rest of them. He's not trying to be fake like Obama. Obama was just a good talker. That's all he was.
Smooth mouth.
Yes. He says a lot.
Donna says, I think most people don't really know why. They just listen to the media. The sheep. They blindly follow.
Yeah, I see that.
I wasn't calling you. Stand back.
Yeah, I believe that. They're all over the place. All right. I think we're gonna wrap.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, guys. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Also, don't forget that we are going to be live streaming the debates, all the debates coming up. I finally got software to be able to do it with, and subscribe, like, share this video to get our page out because we are going to be going live every day.
Yeah, we'll be live. Well, depending on where you're at, 9.
Well, yeah, it's 9 Central Time.
But we'll let you know. And thanks for everyone who's commented. That really helps out a lot.
Yes, also being very...
we read that one.
Thanks for being very interactive with us. We love it.
Yes.
So
we enjoy reading comments, answering. Very fun.
So tomorrow when we go live tomorrow night, get some questions up.
Have your own questions. We'll sit and do a sit and chat thing afterwards.
Yeah, we'll do something like that. If you guys are interested in something like that.
News talk.
But thanks for watching, guys, and Mom, and Carolyn. No, seriously, guys, thank you, and we will see you.
Thanks for the support. We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
We done?
We done.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up and walk around.
All right.
So I have to lean up that way. It's a stretch.
All right.
It's a
It's
stretch.
a good thing you're not wearing your PJ pants.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not wearing anything. That's true.
And we'll see y'all tomorrow night.